What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com. Welcome back to another one of our previews. The big event is here. It's Breeders' Cup weekend, and we're going to go for this video to Breeders' Cup Friday. It is race 9 on the card. It's the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And as always, kind of that first big step towards the Kentucky Derby. And maybe you don't win the Kentucky Derby after you run in this race, but there's been a few that are competing in the Derby. There's been a couple of winners, Street Sense and Nyquist, who won this race and won the Kentucky Derby as well. So, but for this, it's just a huge race every single year. It usually crowns the 2-year-old champion of the year as well. Field of 8 for this one. And we've got a interesting group. I don't know if we're that strong top to bottom, but I do think we have some superstars in the race. So let's get to it. Let's handicap it here. We'll go through them 1 through 8 like we always do, try to pick a winner in the end. And we're going to start with the number 1, Intrepido. Intrepido coming into this race after 2 straight victories, won a maiden special weight going 1 mile right here at Del Mar before winning the American Pharoah, a grade 1 race, going 1 mile and a 16th, which is the distance of today's race. In that one, beat a couple of Bob Baffert runners. Desert Gate was kind of the main one. Now, Desert Gate was going to run here, ended up scratching, or well, he didn't scratch, he just didn't enter. So left us with the field of 8. So Intrepido trying to make it 3 in a row in this spot. If you're into buyer speed figures, did improve from an 84 to an 87 when it stretched out to 1 mile and 16. So pretty nice horse. I thought it closed up really nicely, kind of just stocked the pace at a couple links off and was able to get the job done. So I think comes in here with a big shot. Jeff Mullins, Hector Barrios, 2 guys, if you play California, you know them, you definitely know them, but probably not a Breeders' Cup household name. These 2 guys, Hector Barrios can ride and Jeff Mullins can train. So don't take these 2 for granted. That's what I would tell you. The number 2 is Blackout Time. Kenny McPeak trained horse. Irad Ortiz Jr. picks up the mount here. And this is a horse that was second last time out in the Breeders' Futurity, a race there at Keeneland. Got beat by Ted Noffey, who will be the favorite for this race on a Friday. So nothing to be kind of disappointed about here. If you look at Blackout Time, he kind of reminds you a lot of Intrepido. Second race out, stretched out to 1 mile and improved, ran much better and won. And then last time out, didn't win the grade 1 Breeders' Futurity, but also faced probably a little bit tougher horses than what Intrepido had to beat that day. So yeah, this is definitely a horse you like. Talking about Blackout Time, at least I should say. I thought he ran really, really, really well last time out. I was very impressed last time out with him. I just got beat by a horse that was just better than him, but I think is one that you got to keep an eye on here at a decent price, I would imagine. The number 3 is Mr. AP. Broken record for you here, but looked to improve a little bit when stretching out in distance last time out, going 1 mile at Santa Anita. Was able to get the job done by a nose. I like this horse. I don't know if I like this horse for this race, is what I'll say. I would like this horse in a little bit more logical spot for him. I get, hey, we're at our home, base, and we're going to take a shot here. I totally get that. Got beat a couple times and made special weights going short against some decent competition. So I like him taking a shot. I just have a hard time getting there with Mr. AP. The number 4 is Comport. Comport coming into this race off of a second place effort last time out in the Iroquois when he stretched out to 1 mile. His 7 furlong and 6 furlong races and 5.5 furlong races they were all a little bit better, I thought, than that 1 mile race of the Iroquois. Thought he turned for home and looked like a winner and got tired and ran down late. Now, you look at the winner of that race, Spice Runner. He didn't come back to do much. The 3rd place horse hasn't come back to do much either. So I don't know about Comport in this one. I was pretty kind of excited about Comport going into the Iroquois. I wasn't as excited going out. And this is a tougher ask here for this one, so not much interest from me. The number 5 is Civil Liberty. This horse trained by Doug O'Neill and is still a maiden. Now, on the surface, you go, well, that's not good. And hey, it's not. However, main special weight on debut, going 5.5 furlongs at Del Mar, got second, beaten by Brant, a horse we'll talk about here in a second, who's obviously very good. Second race of the career, they went right to the grade 1 Del Mar Futurity. got third, beaten by Brant and by Desert Gate. Desert Gate comes back to finish second in the American Pharoah. Of course, Brant, the horse that's we're going to talk about in a minute, is going to garner a lot of attention. Stretch out last time out to the American Pharoah, another grade 1 race as a maiden, got fourth, beaten 6.5. That's the one right there that bothers me. The first 2 races, it's like, hey, this horse probably going to be okay stretching out, being by Independence Hall out of a Tisnell mare. I think a mile 16th that be okay. Didn't run all that well last time out. So that last race really kind of soured. Got to turn the tables on Brant. Got to turn the tables on Intrepido. I don't see it happening in this one. The number 6 is a Litmus Test. This is a horse last time out I thought ran well, but still was third, beaten 5 lengths behind Ted Noffey, and was also behind Blackout in that spot as well. 2 races back, finished fourth behind Brant, Desert Gate, Civil Liberty. We just talked about it. 2 of those 3 horses are back here. So another one I have a hard time supporting. I think the other Bob Baffert runner we're getting ready to talk about makes a little bit more sense. So Litmus Test, not for me in this spot. All right, let's get to him. We've been talking about him. Brant is the number 7 horse. Bob Baffert trained, ridden by Flavian Pratt in this one. And he has been brilliant in 2 starts. Maiden special weight win, going 5.5 furlongs. The horse wins by 5 1/4, receiving a 101 Beyer speed figure. So obviously very flashy there. And then a 91 Beyer speed figure for his win in the Del Mar Futurity, where he won by a length, beating Desert Gate and Civil Liberty. I did not think that was as brilliant as his maiden race, but maybe he just regressed naturally a little bit off of that effort. They paid $3 million for this one. So obviously that always flashes up on the, when you're reading the past performances, that jumps out at you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Sources by Gun Runner out of a Liam's map mare. So going a mile and 16th should be no problem. A couple of things I dislike about him. He did not run in the round of prep races where the horses stretch out in distance. He's been in a 5.5 furlong race and then a 7 furlong race, the Del Mar Futurity, on September 7th. That was his last race. So coming off of about 2 months in between races there, I wouldn't hate that. But again, he's 7 furlongs down to a mile and a 16th. This will be his first time stretching out in distance. That's enough to have me a little bit worried. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Gaming last year, who kind of rounded the corner, looked like he was going to maybe win, but it was his first time going long, and he flattened out a little bit. We also kind of learned Gaming really out of that race just wasn't very good. Let's just be blunt about it. So, going long for the first time in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile there, it makes me a little bit nervous. The other thing that makes me nervous is the horse is a pretty bad paddler when he runs. And what that means is, one of his legs kind of jets off to the side when he's running. Now, we've seen paddlers in the past. This is not new. Vacoma comes to mind, who had a good career. Essential Quality comes to mind. He had a good career as well. I will say that Brant's paddling issue is a bit more extreme than those 2 horses. But, I don't know what that means for today's race. More so, it might just mean this horse might have some longevity issues as far as staying healthy. But again, that's all that doesn't automatically mean that, it just doesn't. So anyway, he's working out pretty nicely. Like I said, I think if you can kind of get past the fact this will be his first time going long, I think he's very playable, but that is a little bit of a worry for me, no doubt about it. Then finally, the number 8 is Ted Noffey, undefeated, 3 for 3 in this one. And, a horse that just got better with each start. Maiden special weight win at Saratoga to kick off the career by a length and a half. Pretty sharp effort. Stretched out to 7 furlongs the next start in the hopeful stakes there, and won by 8.5. And what really impressed me that day, and what really had me excited to bet him again in the Breeders' Futurity, when they were getting towards the line, it looked like Ted Noffey was just getting going, and he just really, the last 100 yards of that race, poured it on the competition. And so I thought that would translate very well to the Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland, his next start and his first start going a mile and 16th. And it did. He was great in that race, in my opinion. He won by 2 3/4. Just blew away Blackout Time, who I thought ran well. Litmus Test, the Baffert runner, he ran okay. He just was no match for Ted Noffey. So I was very, very impressed with that. So that's your field of 8 for this year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And I have to go with Ted Noffey in this spot. I do really like Brant as well, but I just feel like with Brant, I am worried about the no race at 2 turns yet for this horse, or even past 7 furlongs, I should say. So I do worry about him a little bit. As far as some of the rest of these, like Blackout Time, I don't know, if Ted Noffey just doesn't run very well, he could turn the tables, but we kind of saw it's going to be tough for him to turn the tables on Ted Noffey in this spot, in my opinion. Some of these other ones, you kind of look at Civil Liberty, still a maiden Comport. I just really would be surprised, if he's a horse that is able to beat a horse like Ted Noffey. Mr. AP, I don't think so. Litmus Test, we've already seen it. Kind of just leaves Intrepido, who I think is pretty good. I don't know to what level. I wouldn't be shocked, right, if Intrepido wins. I certainly wouldn't be shocked if Brant wins, but Ted Noffey just feels like he has the least amount of question marks. He checks the boxes. So for me, for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile this year, I'm going to go number 8, Ted Noffey. All right, that'll do it for this preview of the race. Hit that like button if you like it. Hit subscribe. You really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, stay tuned to the channel for more Breeders' Cup coverage.